Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive with us. Today we're going to be looking at Sweat Soul Success and their take on nutrition.
Oh, yeah.
But not just for, hitting the gym or getting those gains.
Right.
It's nutrition for life.
Yeah.
For everything.
That's really interesting how they frame it
Right.
as fuel for everything we want to do.
Exactly.
It's not just what we're putting in our bodies to get us through the day or through a workout, but fueling our passions and our dreams and our...
Yeah, they have this really cool comparison in the episode.
Okay.
Of like two race cars.
Oh.
Like imagine one that's all shiny and souped up and, has that high octane fuel.
Yeah.
And then there's this other one that's barely being held together by duct tape and sputtering along on fumes.
Oh, wow.
So they ask, which car are you?
Oh, that's good.
Makes you think, huh?
Yeah, it really highlights the impact of our food choices.
Long term. Right?
Yeah, in the long run.
Not just in the moment.
Exactly. Like you need the right fuel for your car to run. Our bodies need the right nutrients to function at their best.
And not just physically, like we think of with nutrition.
Right.
But mentally and emotionally, too.
Absolutely.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
I love how they quote Hippocrates in this episode, too.
Oh, yeah.
Let food be thy medicine.
It's a classic for a reason.
It is. And it really drives home the point that food isn't just about calories. Mm-hmm. It's not just fuel. It's about transforming ourselves.
Becoming the best version of ourselves.
Yes. From the inside out.
It's incredible when you think about it, like what we choose to eat literally becomes...
It's like the building blocks.
The building blocks, yeah, of who we are.
I love that.
And who we are becoming.
So they break it down into 3 key principles.
Okay.
The first one is prioritize whole foods.
Makes sense.
They specifically mention lean proteins,
okay,
colorful veggies, whole grains, and healthy fats.
So the basics.
Yeah, but why are these like the all-stars?
Well, each of those has its own unique role to play in keeping our bodies running smoothly.
Okay, I like that.
Like lean proteins, for example.
Right.
They're packed with amino acids, which are the building blocks for our muscles.
So important.
Especially after a tough workout.
So that's where our protein shakes come in?
Exactly. They help repair and rebuild those tissues.
That's like muscle therapy.
Yeah, you could think of it that way.
What about veggies then?
Oh, veggies.
We all know they're good for us.
Well, yeah, but how do they actually contribute to peak performance? Well, those vibrant colors you see, those are a sign of all the antioxidants.
Okay.
Vitamins they contain.
Right.
They protect ourselves from damage.
Okay.
And they keep our immune system strong.
So we can power through flu season.
Exactly. They're like your body's internal defense squad.
I love it.
Keeping you healthy and energized.
All right. So what about whole grains?
Whole grains.
Because those are supposed to give us energy.
They do. They're like the slow-burning fuel for your body.
So not just a quick burst.
Right. They provide sustained energy throughout the day.
Because of the fiber.
Because of the fiber, exactly.
Right.
And they also help regulate our blood sugar levels.
Oh, that's so important.
Which is really key for avoiding those energy crashes.
And staying focused, right?
Yes, exactly. Keeping your mind sharp.
So we've got our protein, our veggies, our whole grains.
And last but not least, healthy fats.
Now, I got to ask, because I know a lot of people are probably thinking, aren't all fats bad for us?
That's a really common misconception.
Yeah.
Healthy fats are actually essential for so many things.
Like what?
Like brain function, hormone production. They even help us absorb certain vitamins.
Wow.
And they keep our skin and hair healthy.
So it's like the unsung hero.
Yeah, they're working behind the scenes.
In the nutrition world.
To keep everything running smoothly.
Okay, so we got our building blocks covered.
Yeah.
Now, the next principle is stay hydrated.
Yes. The age-old advice.
I know, right? But they emphasize just how important it is.
It's true. People underestimate how much dehydration can really sabotage their efforts.
I have to admit, I am so guilty of forgetting to drink water.
It happens to the best of us.
Until I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel awful.
Yeah, and even mild dehydration can impact you.
In what way?
Both physically and mentally.
Okay.
Remember, our bodies are mostly water.
Right.
And every cell needs it to function.
So how much are we supposed to be drinking?
Well, the podcast recommends at least half your body weight in ounces each day.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, for example, if you weigh 150 pounds, you should aim for 75 ounces of water.
Okay, so like a good starting point.
Yeah, of course, individual needs vary.
Depending on activity level and all that.
Exactly, and climate and other factors.
Now, they also mention electrolytes.
Yes, especially when you're sweating a lot.
Remind me again how those work.
Think of electrolytes like the spark plugs that keep everything running.
What's plugs it up?
Like sodium, potassium, magnesium. They're all essential for things like muscle function, nerve transmission, and fluid balance.
So when we sweat, we lose them.
Exactly. And that can lead to muscle cramps, fatigue, headaches.
Yeah.
All sorts of unpleasant things.
So we have to replenish.
Yes, it's like giving your body's electrical system a tune-up.
I like that.
Especially after a tough workout.
Okay, so we've got building blocks with the whole foods.
Right.
We've got our hydration strategy down. What's the final principle from Sweat Soul Success?
It's all about fueling around your workouts. They suggest focusing on carbs before your workout for energy.
Oh, that makes sense.
And then protein afterwards for muscle repair and recovery.
It's like having a pre-game meal and a post-game recovery plan.
Exactly.
But for our workouts.
Yeah, I like that analogy.
It's really making me rethink how I fuel myself.
Yeah.
For everything.
It's not just about getting through the day.
Right.
It's about thriving.
Yeah.
And the podcast actually gives a really cool challenge to help with that.
Oh, tell me I love a challenge.
Okay, so they suggest tracking everything you eat for 7 days.
Okay.
But not just what you eat, but why you're making those choices.
Like being really mindful.
Exactly. Like, are you truly hungry? Or is it something else?
Is it boredom or stress?
Could be, or habit even.
I've never really thought about the why behind my snacking habits.
It's really eye-opening.
Yeah.
When you start paying attention.
I know. I'm definitely guilty of reaching for the sweets
Yeah.
when I'm stressed or bored.
We all have those moments.
Right.
But that's where the mindfulness comes in.
Okay.
By being aware of our habits, we can start to see those triggers.
So, are we eating because we're actually hungry?
No.
Or is it emotional hunger?
Exactly. Or stress or just out of habit.
It's like shining a light on those autopilot moments
Yeah, you're taking back control.
so that we can make a conscious decision instead.
Precisely.
And I love how they emphasize that it's not about being perfect.
Right.
It's about progress.
Exactly.
It's about making those intentional choices.
The small upgrades that add up over time.
And they give some great examples like swapping out that processed snack
Yeah.
for some almonds or an apple.
Easy swaps.
Yeah, or adding more veggies to your dinner.
Simple but effective.
What's great about that approach
Well,
is it's sustainable,
it is. It's not about making these huge changes overnight.
which are usually not going to last
Right. It's the small, consistent changes that make a real difference.
in the long run.
Exactly.
And it all goes back to that idea of voting for our future selves
Every time we eat,
with every bite
we're making a choice.
about who we want to be
Do you want to be sluggish and unmotivated?
or full of energy and ready to take on the world.
It's a powerful way to think about it.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
let's go back to that race car analogy.
Okay.
Which one are we choosing to drive?
Are we fueling mediocrity or greatness?
And remember, fueling greatness isn't about perfection. It's about those consistent choices,
It's about showing up for yourself,
those daily upgrades that lead to something amazing,
investing in your well-being.
one bite at a time. So it really is about making those choices each day
Those little moments where we decide what we're putting into our bodies.
and ultimately into our lives, right?
Yeah, it's like we're constantly building and rebuilding ourselves.
With every bite.
Exactly.
And that's pretty empowering when you think about it,
It is. We have so much more control over our health
than we realize.
than we think. Yeah.
So as Sweat Soul Success reminds us,
Yeah.
it's not about changing everything overnight.
No, start small.
One small change.
One step at a time.
So what's one thing you can change this week to fuel your greatness?
What's one upgrade you can make?
I love that.
Maybe it's swapping that sugary snack for a piece of fruit
Oh, yeah.
and some nuts.
Or adding an extra serving of veggies to dinner.
Or even just being more mindful about why you're reaching for certain foods.
Like we talked about.
Exactly.
And remember, every little step counts.
It all adds up.
It does.
And like the podcast says,
yeah.
choose greatness. Choose to show up for yourself. You'll not only feel the difference, you'll love it.
I love that takeaway message.
It's a good one.
When we fuel our bodies with what they need, we have more energy,
More focus.
more resilience to tackle whatever life throws our way.
And you just feel better overall.
Who wouldn't love that?
It's about investing in yourself,
And reaping the rewards.
both physically and mentally.
So there you have it, folks.
Our deep dive into nutrition basics.
Inspired by Sweat Soul Success. Remember, it's not just about fueling your workouts. It's about fueling your life.
Every choice matters.
Choose greatness. Choose you. Until next time, keep sweating, keep growing, and keep chasing success. But here's something to think about. We've talked about fueling our bodies like well-oiled machines. But what about our minds? What if we thought about the information we consume, the media we engage with as fuel too? Could we apply the same principles of mindful choices and prioritizing quality to what we feed our minds, just like we do with our bodies? Something to ponder. Right.